back. We're wrapping up a Thursday daily show, RiverBender.com, Roku TV. If you watch this later on demand or listen to it on Apple Podcasts, thanks for doing that too. In the studio now, Kevin Hall, candidate on the Democratic side for the 56th District, Illinois State Senate. This is exciting. We're going through the gauntlet on this show. We're getting everybody on here. It's, the March primary, before we dive into anything, has got to be tough for everybody because you're right on the cusp of holiday season ending. I've never even brought this up on the show before, but just the overwhelm that I feel, holidays are getting over with, and then you guys are back to the grindstone, ready to go for March.
Yeah, and the weather hasn't helped either. like putting out campaign signs or knocking doors. It's when it's 5 degrees out, you don't really get too enthusiastic about that. So,
well, take me through, just for everyone to get to, be refamiliarized with you. You were the former township supervisor in Edwardsville, correct? And now, in this position, you're decided to throw your hat in the ring on the Democratic side. What leads up to that? Yeah,
so first started having discussions probably into 2024 with some people. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of around the time where I was making the decision I didn't want to run for supervisor again. And so, and then spring of last year, I was like, let's try and hold off and finish the supervisor term. And then started having some discussions with some people. And it was kind of into July, early August when petition season was, and they also pushed that up. This was a lot earlier than it had been in the past. And so, basically, August just started trying to get petitions and signatures for people. And then it was that ended in November, and then it was fundraisers and the holidays, and here we are. So
fantastic. Well, so whenever you're running, you're going through petition season. Was there any trepidation with it being pushed, up a little bit? Like, man, is this really is the timing here type of thing? Did that line up perfectly for you?
Yeah, it was. Obviously, the weather was nicer with it.
That's true.
Because it used to be December was when you'd be turning them in. But it wasn't on people's minds. And I know talking to Katie Stewart and Jay Hoffman that they were saying that it was right after their session started is when they were having to jump right into candidate recruitment. And so.
Wow. Well, I find petition time very fascinating because you aren't really, necessarily saying yes to a specific, candidate yet. You're signing the petition for you. Great. But when you're walking around petition time, you really, I think, get a better understanding of, really what's on people's minds, what's kind of getting after them. What's been I hate to say buzzword, but what's been the kind of main points of when you're knocking on the doors, when you're seeing the Facebook messages, hearing the phone calls? Is it affordability? Is it things happening at a national level? Yep. In your opinion, from what you're hearing, what's the biggest issue in the midterm?
I think, especially during petitions, it was a lot of what you hear here with Illinois a lot. Okay. It was the property taxes.
Gotcha.
It was affordability, like groceries, childcare. I've got 3 little kids, and I always say that there was a point all 3 of them were in daycare at the same time.
Oh, God love you.
75% of my take home was just going straight to for daycare. So I feel the struggles that everybody else is. And obviously the past month or so, it's Minneapolis immigration has become also another big topic. But it's still, when I'm talking to people the past couple weeks, it's still a lot of affordability. It's groceries, it's fixed incomes, and that kind of stuff. So
along the journey so far on this, what has been the biggest, maybe not surprise, but the biggest kind of light bulb moment for you when you're on the trail or you're talking to one of the current reps, one of the current, political figures, or just somebody you're knocking doors for?
Yeah. I think the thing I am pleasantly surprised to see is the amount of energy and excitement this early.
Yeah, that's true. It's so fascinating to me because I would never, not to cut you off, but it's one I haven't heard the answer of yet. Yep. Because it just seems like no matter what people are, it's front of mind.
Yep. Now, obviously, with today starting early voting, and that's why I tried to get on here today, was there's definitely some people are like, oh, I didn't realize it's already coming so soon.
Yeah.
But like in terms of volunteers and like
Right.
there's a lot more energy and I think excitement for it this year, much earlier than I feel like in the past. And obviously my previous elections have been township trustee and township supervisor, so the municipal doesn't get quite the excitement, but just definitely feel like there's an energy to it.
It does feel, honestly, from my position, just observing it feels that way too from, a lot of candidates across the board. So it's interesting to see where it goes. Whenever you're going into this and you're preparing for, the primary, if everything goes well, you're going to be preparing, going into the general. What is the past positions, from a township level? Because, I think it's fair to clarify too. I mean, your job with Edwardsville, that role is very involved, and is there parts of that position that you're going to kind of take to help you on this? If you are successful in November, if you're successful in March, you win the primary, you go into general, do you have some takeaways that you can, bring into this? Yeah,
I'd say the biggest thing is like, I have the experience of talking to constituents and, finding ways to address their problems.
Yeah.
Like, to me, one of the big things with government is just, I think people want a representative who's going to get stuff done. And I have that experience. With the township, we did a lot working with like the Glenhead Food Pantry, the Meals on Wheels programs with Main Street Community Center. And obviously when they brought the overnight warming location to Edwardsville, I was one of the first people to really back them. And I know people across our district and across the state are struggling and could use a little bit of help. And that's kind of just my big passion, is just to try and get stuff done, try and help people make their lives better, make their lives easier. Well, I feel, like, and this is just me again, whenever somebody says, I wish there was, something, a service for X, Y, or Z, a lot of times there already is a pretty good organization out there. It's just maybe not a lot of funding for promotional activities or marketing to get out front of mind for everybody. And it's going to be, I think, interesting to see how your involvement with other organizations, with the food pantries and everything else you've done. I feel like it's a great way to elevate the resources that are already available if needed. Yeah, and that's one thing I tried to do a lot as the township was, we didn't need to reinvent the wheel. We didn't need to make our own food pantry. I was like, we already have this great one in town. Let's work with them. Let's kind of be that middleman when we come across somebody in the community that needs help. Let's be that resource that can connect them to, hey, if you need a place to stay, the overnight warming location. Here, if you need food, here's the places in town where you can get a nice warm meal, or connect them with, as I said, the resources that are already there, rather than, let's definitely create something new. It's like, why? Let's maximize our resources. Right. Let's build up what's already happening. I like this. Kevin, do you want to take a quick break with me? I got to pay one last bill of the show. Okay. Let's do that. It's 10:52, a little bit of change on this Thursday morning. We'll come back. More conversation with Kevin Hall, candidate on the Democratic side of things for the 56th District for Illinois State Senate. Back in a moment.
Struggling with depression that just won't go away? At Precision TMS, we offer a non-invasive, drug-free treatment designed to target the areas of the brain linked to mood regulation. Using FDA-cleared transcranial magnetic stimulation, gentle magnetic pulses help reactivate underperforming brain circuits without surgery or sedation. Many patients experience real relief, even after other treatments haven't worked. Our experienced team provides personalized care every step of the way. Contact Precision TMS today to see if TMS therapy is right for you.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
What's up? It's Mike Keith. What's up, bro? Good, my guy. Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it. This is Dwight Wirtz, president of Wirtz Welding and Tank Service, the nation's premier distributor of tank trailer parts. Dwight has been an outspoken and long-time supporter of the college and is the current chairperson of Lewis and Clark Board of Trustees. Oh, and he's a Lewis and Clark grad.
I'm Dwight Wirtz, and I am a trailblazer.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Welcome back. Daily Show, 1055. Back in with Kevin Hall, candidate for State Senate on the Illinois State Senate on the Democratic side, 56th District. I want to point out, just to break the fourth wall, I didn't ask. I just kind of remembered the district there. It gets tough. There's a lot of districts out there. And I bring that in kind of tongue-in-cheek, but whenever you're meeting with voters or potential, voters, across the whole background that you've had, is information, and kind of just talking through the process a step for you too? Because I feel like sometimes just with folks that call in, and have certain questions or you name it, it's just figuring out, what the position does, what does it entail, and what's your role?
Yep. Yeah, it's always kind of, and I probably should have led with this, that so the 56th district goes Godfrey, part of Godfrey. It's like Lewis and Clark, and then it goes down to, I always say, down to O'Fallon in St. Clair County. Okay. So it's mostly, I think 80% or so is Madison County, and then about 20% is St. Clair County.
Wow.
And so it's obviously, especially during the petitions, try to get people, because it's part of Bethalto, it's part of Edwardsville, part of, as I said, part of Godfrey, most of Alton, and so it's just trying to find people. It's and then it's the difference between some people are oh, you're running for U.S. Senate. I was no, Illinois Senate. There's those different lines, and just trying to get the information out, get informed, people, so we're on the same page when we're starting the discussion. So.
Well, and that to me has got to be fun, because no matter what state, it's become a jigsaw puzzle, So just, I'm sure finding out, what's the updated district maps and everything else is fun too, and which house is on the border now,
Yep.
Going in back to the conversation, as we're heading into the 17th, into primary day, what do you feel like, Kevin, is the most important thing you'd want a primary voter to know going into March 17th, and even for maybe an independent or even a typically Republican voter, what would you like for them to know if, heading into November, if everything is successful for you in March?
Yeah. Just the big thing for me is I just want to get done, be a fighter for the Metro East in Springfield. The kind of big things that I'm running on are affordability, housing, childcare, utilities, groceries, medical bills. As I said earlier, I know people are struggling and could use a little bit of help. So that's the big thing. Obviously, trying to get more state resources down here. Obviously, water quality has been a big discussion here across the district, whether you've got Collinsville with PFAS, whether it's the Bethalto area with cancer-causing chemicals. Edwardsville's had brown water issues.
Really? Wow.
And I know in Collinsville, they were saying it's going to take till 2029 till they're getting addressed. And water is an essential part of our life that we need to get this addressed. And so that would be day one, going to the governor's office. What can we do to help these people so they don't have to worry about, oh, do I need to be buying bottles of water for 3-4 years?
Yeah.
So,
well, and then a quick follow-up on that, and that's, I like that, that you're giving us some insights on, at least starting that process if, you're in. How else would you look to combat the affordability issues? Is it by working with other statewide and maybe federal officials, within the state of Illinois, whether it's a senator, whether it's a United States representative or the governor's office, or is it maybe looking at legislation to help local families?
Yeah, so first of all, I was as township supervisor, hearing from constituents the property tax issue.
Yeah.
I was proud my last property tax levy that we passed was the lowest tax rate for Edwardsville Township in over 30 years.
Wow.
Like I have experience actually getting results for people. And so one thing that I'm looking into, there's been discussion, former Governor Pat Quinn put out a 3% millionaire's tax proposal for the state of Illinois. And then I know some of the legislators here this past month have brought forward some bills to kind of bring that to the, I think it'd have to be a constitutional amendment. Okay. And so, but basically to provide property tax relief, provide public school funding, very critical things for our state. So
fantastic. Well, and really something to keep an eye out for too. In the next couple of weeks, I know that you're going to be busy, and whether or not it's now with early voting starting and the fun that brings. And are you able to see, I guess preliminary numbers? You obviously don't know who voted for you, but just total turnout. Are you guys able to keep track of that?
Yeah, can get access to when people vote, like who requests a mail-in ballot, that kind of stuff. Obviously, until 7 o'clock on election night, they can't count anything. Are
you going to sleep until then, or because you've had a couple of runs already, and another? How do you prepare for nights like this? Is there any way to prepare? I guess is the question.
I would say for me, it's just focus on what you can at the moment and just put in the work now and cross your fingers, hope for the best on the 17th.
Well, and what's the best way to stay up to date on your campaign if someone's watching today is really interested in volunteering or learning more? What's the best?
Yeah. So the main place, my website is votekehall.com, or on Facebook, you can also go to Vote K Hall as well. And then if anyone wants to call or text me, my campaign phone number is 618-507-9146, and feel free to call, text. I want people to be able to know that they can reach out to me, and I'm there to help the people in this district.
Fantastic. Well, Kevin, thank you so much for stopping by. Best of luck with the primary, and feel free to stop by as the road to March or November, depending on how things go, keep moving forward. Best of luck, man.
Okay, thank you.
Well, we're out of time, or we aren't going to take a quick break. I'm out of time. It's 11:01, past the 11 o'clock hour. All of this will be on RiverBender.com in the next couple of minutes. You can stay up to date, RiverBender.com/daily show. We're out of time. We have a good one for you tomorrow with Sydney Sinks and the whole gang. So until then, just as always, try your best to stay out of jail.